Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. The family's doing all right. We're hanging in there. We're keeping sane. We're trying to get outside some every day just to help break up the monotony of being in the house all day. So I hope you guys are doing well. Let's dive in and continue our study of Esther. We're going to be talking about Esther chapter 7 today. Now, just to refresh your memory, in Esther chapter 6, it ended with Haman getting home from this parade where he took Mordecai all around the town and had everyone praise Mordecai for how great he was, how he saved the king's life. So Haman gets summoned by the servants of the queen to go to the banquet, and he gets there and he probably is feeling a little better about himself. Oh yeah, I get to go to this banquet where it's only the king, the queen, and myself and no one else. Well, this is pretty awesome. I am pretty important still. And so they get there, they have their banquet, and things are going well. And then the king asks Esther, so what is your request? Now this is the third time that the king has asked Esther what is it that she wants. So she can't put this off anymore. She looks at the king and says, you know what, king? If it pleases you, may my life and the lives of my people be spared. To this, the king replies, well, who's trying to take your life? Who's trying to take the lives of your people? And at this, Queen Esther says, it is our enemy Haman. He is the one trying to take our lives. Now this is a shock to Haman and to the king, and the king becomes very, very angry. Keep in mind, the king's probably been drinking up until this point, so he may even be a little drunk. And Haman too, I imagine Haman at this accusation kind of does a spit take like, wait, what? So the king, he's angry. He decides to go outside and clear his head for a minute, try to hope the night air clears his head so he can think through the problem and figure out a good solution. While this is going on, Haman is begging for his life from the queen because he knows that the king is probably going to kill him for this. And so he's begging her, and he throws himself at her for mercy, seeking mercy. And the king walks in at this point, and he sees Haman throwing himself at Queen Esther, and the king thinks, well, is he even going to attack her in my own home while I am here? The king doesn't see Haman begging for mercy. He sees Haman assaulting the queen. And so he has the guards immediately grab Haman, and he says, what am I going to do with Haman? Well, one of the servants speaks up and says, hey, isn't that a gallows that Haman built for Mordecai? Why don't you put him on it? And the king's like, that's an excellent suggestion. Hang him. And they do. And when I say hang him, I should specify, remember that a gallows was not a gallows like we think of with a noose and all. No, a gallows was this large wooden stake that they would impale people on. And so chapter 7 ends with Haman being hung on this gallows, impaled on this stake, and his house and everything in it being given to Esther and her family. So that is the end of chapter 7, and in chapter 8 we'll kind of see how Esther and the king and Mordecai work together to figure out a solution for saving the Jewish people. As far as a spiritual takeaway, something to think about. What I want you guys to kind of think about as you go throughout your day and as you go throughout your life is remembering that in the end, God's justice will be done. A lot of times in life it can feel like evil people get away with evil things. But keep in mind that God in the end is going to have his justice. Justice will be done. Sometimes it happens during a person's lifetime. In the case of Haman, his evil was rewarded with his death. But that's not always the case. Sometimes people aren't punished for their evil until after death. And by that I mean hell, eternity in hell. So as you're feeling frustrated by things that are going on, by evil that you see in the world, just remember that in the end, God's justice is going to be done. That's all I got for you guys today. Hope to see you guys tomorrow when we talk about Esther chapter 8. Until then, take care, stay sane, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.